What's up, guys? At some point in your life, you're gonna run into someone you want to date that has kids. Now, dating someone who has kids comes with a few sacrifices, but you always make sacrifices regardless when you meet someone. No one will ever be the whole complete version of what you want them to be. But what if someone's a great person and they have kids? Sometimes that's a sacrifice. So let's talk about a few misconceptions and challenges people face when dating someone that has kids. Drop my phone. Numero uno, not dating someone because of a past experience of dating someone with kids or just an overall preconception of what it's like to date someone with kids. Don't assume what the experience will be like, especially if you never dated someone with kids. All experiences are different. When you meet someone, whether they have kids or not, you're always dealing with a bunch of variables. There's drama and friction whether they have kids or not. We've all been there. That mentality is like saying, you know what, I met this bad woman or bad man. All men and women are like that. It doesn't make sense. It's the same with dating someone with kids. You're gonna get different experiences no matter what. You meet great people with kids and you meet incompatible people with kids. 2, this is the big one. Don't assume your role. Don't assume the role you're gonna play in that child's life. Some people feel like they have to step into this big role of being stepmom or stepdad when that was never implied or discussed. It was an assumption in your own head. Talk to your partner and ask what's expected of you as time goes on. Maybe right now it's nothing, maybe it's later, maybe it's never anything. I know for me personally, with my kids, they have a great mom and that's it. I never expect anything from my partner other than to be my partner. 3, having your first child. Most people want them and their partner to have their first child together, meaning that person doesn't have kids with anyone else. They're sharing that experience together. And they feel like if someone already has kids, that experience is gonna be different. Now, with someone who has 2 kids, having each kid was completely different. You don't get bored of it. It's not like, oh, I've had meatloaf 3 nights this week, I'm over it. Every kid is an amazing experience. Every kid is different. Raising your child together is different than your partner raising their other child. Seeing your child born is completely overwhelming every single time. It's an amazing experience. So don't assume your experience of having your first child will be lessened if you're with someone who's already had theirs. 4, sharing time. You're always gonna have to share time. Everyone has different priorities, different people, whether it's kids, whether it's parents, grandparents, whether it's social events, you're always sharing a person's time. So having a kid is just another thing that you have to share that person's time with. And it's not always a lot. It depends on the role of that parent. Are they a full-time parent, bi-weekly, weekly? Do they just take their kids to the event? What is that person's involvement? That's when you sit down and talk about what that looks like. How involved are they in their children's life? And what does that look like for your time together? And number 5, jealousy. Now, some people can be jealous of the love that their partner has for their children. They can feel like, well, how come he doesn't make that time or make that effort or do those things for me? And I get it. Sometimes you might feel like that's ridiculous for you to feel that way, but it is a valid feeling and it does happen. And as someone who has kids, you're always trying to shift priorities and make sure that everyone's happy. I'd say the number one thing that's always helped is someone that's just open and communicates. If you feel like you're having less time with that person, say, listen, I know you have your kids every week, maybe you're busy with recreational activities, but how about you and I make some time together? Hey, look, I see that you put a lot of effort into your kids, but I feel like at the end of the day, you're too tired to put any effort towards me. Whatever the situation is, just communicate with how you feel and don't feel bad for having those feelings. They're normal. So to conclude, you date who you date. If you had bad experiences dating someone with kids, it's because you failed to see the red flags that are already there. My advice is if you are interested in dating someone with kids, ask the questions that are important to you. How much time do you spend with those kids? What's your relationship with the mom like? When you're dating someone, what are your expectations of their roles? Do you like to introduce your kid to the person you're dating right away? The point is, ask those questions. And when someone doesn't have kids, you ask questions just like that. But communication is key if you haven't noticed that pattern through this whole thing. At the end of the day, be open-minded because you might be missing out on great people. Don't be afraid to date someone with kids. Do your due diligence, do your research, do your homework, look into that person. Don't miss those red flags. And don't be jaded from past experiences or from what you might have seen on TV or heard your friends say. All right, guys, I want to say thanks again for watching. I would like to know your experience in dating someone with kids. Comment down below. Tell me if it was good, if it was bad, what you would have done differently. Let me hear from you. And thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe, like, follow, wherever this thing goes. Just do something so that you get the next one and that you're supporting and showing some love. Thank you, guys. Peace.